Cool. Thanks for being here. So we are working on red, yellow, green. I just hit the create button on this repository. Here are the settings that I used. So I took a little snippet. It's MIT open license. I picked the node get ignore. So we're going to be going for TypeScript. We'll pivot if needed, but that's the initial idea. Red, yellow, green, and then the kind of like, this is intended to call to mind a traffic light. And indeed, in business, we often use metric rubrics, and we will grade things on a red, yellow, green rubric. And so to give you a preview, so this is to measure the quality of social media content. Let's say I put out a TikTok video, and then that will be repurposed across channels. And if it performs well consistently, that's green. If it performs well inconsistently, maybe it went viral on TikTok and then fumbled on YouTube for some reason, that will be yellow. And then if it is not if it doesn't perform anywhere, that's red. And something that is red is likely low value content, green, high value. Yellow is actually probably high value, but it probably needs to be importantly tweaked. And I've seen things like this. For example, a sound is banned on YouTube. And so you roll out this video and it does really well on Insta and maybe TikTok, both, and then but like fumbles on YouTube. And sometimes that's just random chance, and sometimes there is a platform specific issue. And sometimes there's like keyword filtering. The angle bracket, if you try to say like better than or greater than, that gets filtered out of the YouTube like title if you're using repurpose.io for some reason. So there's stuff like this where basically it might end up being yellow, and as a content creator, I'm going to go back and like fix it before I feed it to my AI. So this is all in service of the new era, Latterly 2.0 that I talked about today. So we're kicking this off, and it's basically a garbage in, garbage out situation. So we want to make sure that the input data is pristine. So out of the gate, when it comes to this AI, I'm focusing on something that many AI projects never address, and it is like the main issue in all of AI is the training set data quality and bias issue. Garbage in, garbage out. If you train an AI on garbage data, your AI is going to be biased and like low performance and so on. So before we start creating a bunch of content, actually the content already exists, but it needs to get cleaned up. And so one of the questions is like, how do I clean it up? Well, this tool is going to help us do that. And so let's get started. So thanks for being here. If you like the video, tap it and share it and whatnot. Before I do get started, let me also give a shout out. This is not sponsored, but this OneSolting thing, I want to call it out for the record. 10 ways Latterly and OneSolting can help you outperform your bootcamp's placement rate. Treat it as insurance. This is actually 11 ways, whatever. Treat it as insurance and then also as an accelerator. So say you have a coding bootcamp and they say, hey, we place 90% of our students. Well, first of all, you can insure against being in the 10% because OneSolting says 90% of our clients land interviews within 3 months and 70% land offers in 6 months. And this is independent of whatever your coding bootcamp is doing. So in theory, there should be some kind of insuring effects or complementary effects there. It's not cheap. It's kind of pricey. They do have payment plans. Specifically, I want to call your attention to this auto apply, where they will apply to 50 jobs for you. And this is a big, big deal. For me, if I'm moving quickly, it will take me 5 to 10 minutes to apply. For many people, it takes them substantially longer. In particular, when you're starting your job search and you're sort of getting in the swing of applying, it can take you 30 minutes or an hour. So that they will apply to 50 jobs on your behalf, which to me equates to 250 to 500 minutes. Split it down the middle, that's about 360 minutes, which is about 6 hours, which for me is worth about $600 because my hour is worth about $100. If you pay for it outright, I think it's $300. If you do a package, it gets discounted to $200. Here's some of the other services. Pick your dream job. If you're going with Latterly, then you're already targeting a programming job, right? So these first two things are not so necessary. Resume optimization is something that should be done. If you work with Latterly, we're going to look over your resume, but having an additional pair of eyes and actually another form of resume, and you can A/B test them and see what's performing. This is a good thing. In fact, it's standard process at Laterally that I encourage students to use the Indeed resume rewrite service. So this would be a way that you can get maybe 4 versions of a resume and you can A/B test them and use the best one, right? And so you can really, really have high confidence very quickly in your resume. You also get a quick signal on whether you need to tweak things if your social networking is not going well or whatever. You kick off the application interview pipeline. You kick it off really, really fast because they're going to do these 50 jobs for you, which in my experience with students, getting them to do that first 50 applications is like a major step. Optimize the LinkedIn and a bunch of other stuff, which is a mix of value add and also just kind of substitute with Laterally. But altogether, you basically are doing even better than the bootcamp claims. You're also going to ensure against being in the filtered by criteria. So when a bootcamp tells you, hey, we place 90% of our students, what they're actually telling you is we place 90% of our students that meet all of the rules we've set for them. And that 10%, they didn't just fail, they failed after jumping through all of the hoops we required to jump them through. There's an additional set of people that failed out because they actually didn't jump through the hoops, right? So some of those hoops, they might say, you need to be applying 3 times per week or X number of times per week and reaching out in social networking and doing all of these activities to comply with your boot camp. So like 90% means like 10% of the compliant students still failed to get a job. There's these other people who didn't even comply with what the boot camp asked of them. So you're ensuring against that problem, right? Maybe I had an attendance problem and I missed too many sessions. Well, should that mean that I don't get a job? We want to ensure against that. We still want you to get a job. Thanks for the rose. Ensure against negative bootcamp changes over time and extrapolation error. So they had a 90% track record in the past. Does that mean the next cohort is going to hit 90%? You don't know that. There are many, many cases where bootcamps have a negative change. And we've seen that with the recession. I won't name names, but basically some bootcamps have had to cut resources. They have had to cut office hours and all sorts of things. So you want to ensure against that. I can assure you, the people who have been impacted and they have been in class because they were in mid-cohort and heard that one of their people was cut, one of their teachers was cut. They were extremely angry and understandably. And they would love to have this sort of insurance right here, where they have this other Laterally and Consulting that are going to make sure that the job search is taken care of. Ensure against non-malicious inaccuracy. So they might say 90% and they might have just measured it wrong, right? Ensure against malicious inaccuracy. They might have said 90% and they might have been lying to get you in the door. Maybe it's really 86% and they know that damn well and they rounded it up because they're kind of morally questionable. There are some questionable boot camps out there, y'all. There's some questionable boot camps out there. And you can also ensure against ineffective bootcamp career services. Maybe your bootcamp is great and they teach you and the content is there and the teachers are great, but maybe the career services department is sort of isolated and not really up to snuff. And so you can bring in this external supplement with Laterally and Consulting. So kind of Laterally and Consulting help with these 6. These next 3 are Laterally specific. Ensure against a poor curriculum. So what does Laterally really specialize in is this cutting edge curriculum. Ensure against teacher incompetence, poor communication, lack of availability, lack of expertise. So sometimes you'll get a boot camp and the teacher's crummy. Maybe it's kind of the reverse of 7. Maybe the content is good, but the delivery is bad. Laterally is going to allow you to supplement the boot camp and address that. Ensure against poor pacing. Maybe the boot camp is great and the content is great, but it's too fast and too much work and it's too hard for you. Like, that's okay. In every group of students, there is a lowest performing student, and so let's get them additional help. So Laterally has a supplementation service where you're in a boot camp and you will get this extra weekly meeting with Laterally to cover the gaps. Whether that's because the boot camp doesn't have sufficient office hours for you, or maybe you went to all the office hours and it's like still just overwhelming. I've had a lot of students that for some reason, there's like a bunch of reasons they can't keep up with the boot camp or the boot camp is not up to snuff. And so these first six are job search related, and these three are actually ensuring against the quality of the course itself. It's like triple checking your answers. In particular, if the question is whether you're going to have adequate career support, that should not be a question. Wansulting, and we covered the 50 applications from Wansulting. Again, this is not sponsored. I just think they're cool, and I want to call them out. And I'm considering making them a core service like nested inside of Latterly. I'm considering that. The problem is that they're not cheap enough, basically. Okay. Any tips to get sponsorship? Yeah, check out Wansulting. I mean, I personally do not do this, but Wansulting does. Let me see. They have I think in one of their courses for international, yeah. Wansulting Career Course Premium. Understand how to land a job in the USA with our full international job seeker course. I, John, am not an expert at that. I've had people reach out to me. It is something that I don't know about, and I want to be very clear about that. And I don't offer services in that regard. But Wansulting has a course, so check that out. And frankly, I would recommend you try to find a visa lawyer, but I don't know. So that's tips for sponsorship. I need a resume review. How can I contact you? Check the bio out. I don't like when boot camps give you that much text for just one task. Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of text. Sorry about that. Hack Reactor did pretty much all that. Excuse me. Minus auto apply. It also costs $25K though. Yeah, Hack Reactor's okay. Let's pull them up. I haven't looked at their numbers in a while. Last time I checked, they were kind of okay. But yeah, to your point, really expensive though. So if you can get Hack Reactor quality at half the price, right? So we're gonna have to scroll down a way to get to Hack. Are they even in the top? Hack. Okay, here they are. Oh, that's Iron Hack. Hack Reactor. So I'm going to course report. There's good data indicating that course report is the place to go. So I'm not seeing, hold on, am I spelling it right? I'm not seeing Hack Reactors in the top of most reviewed anymore. So let's pick them out specifically and see if they can meet so they're not in the top schools, basically. They're not. You can just see I just sorted and searched and it wasn't showing up on the page. So they're somewhere down. 462 is good enough. So we want to see it over 425. That's the criteria for prestige. See the SSRN paper, Hireability and Educational Prestige by yours truly, John Vandeveer. It's free to read. So you want it to be over 4.25, but you want it to be more than 400 reviews. More than 400 reviews. So Hack Reactor does not meet the criteria of prestige. So 25K is expensive enough. And then they don't have a job guarantee. So swerve this, y'all. Although this is not saying 25K. So where did you get 25K from? Maybe they changed their prices over time. Could be. Well, here's a different program. So they have different programs, right? Are you doing the 12-week online immersive, or are you doing the 38-week part-time? See? Part-time gets tricky. You can see you're blowing up the cost because you're doing a little bit over a long time. This is not, I would not recommend this for most people. That being said, there are some people that need a part-time option, right? So it's not like it's never the right choice, but you can see that it's taking longer, it's more expensive, there's no job guarantee. Full-time is 60 hours a week. Golly, y'all, that's brutal, but I understand the need for it. They're covering Node and React, that's good. Why are they covering jQuery? So they could just cut some of the stuff. Anyway, skip Hack Reactor for now. Check with me next year. Maybe they will have sharpened it up a bit. Check out Springboard for now. He said he checked out 25K after interest plus ISA cost. Yeah, you can find cheaper, y'all. You can find cheaper. So today's stream is not supposed to be boot camp selection guidance. So we have another topic. Please DM me if you need help finding a boot camp that's a good fit for you. I can also assist you personally. Career Foundry is very highly regarded. Someone said, I tried Career Foundry, but that didn't work for me. I don't know why. Like, why did it not work for you? I would want to talk to you one-on-one. Was it just too fast-paced for you? But this is an excellent program. You can see it's a fraction of the price. That's data analytics. Let's not do data analytics, eh? Still, full stack web development, 7,500. That's as cheap as I'm going to give it for you. If you want me to personally tutor you, I'm going to charge you 7,500 for my end-to-end program, teaching you from scratch. So this is a really great program. Let's see if they have the job guarantee. Yeah, they have the job guarantee. Get after it, y'all. Get over to Career Foundry, and then Springboard is the other one. Let me double check, but last time I checked, they got the reviews, they got the rating, and they had the guarantee as well last time I checked. Yeah. So I'm really, and then let's also check the price, I guess, since we're here. Eng. Software engineering track is 10 grand. It's a good deal. The people who are complaining about paying 10 grand to become a software engineer do not know what they are talking about. Literally, I'm not going to name names, but I have heard people call this a, quote, scam. They are saying that is a scam to go to one of these coding boot camps. That is an outrageous lie. If you can pay 10 grand and be making many multiples over the course of your life, actually 5, 6, 7, 8 multiples the very next year, this is a fantastic investment. I just can't say enough. Please ignore the people who are calling someone like Springboard a scam. Now, that being said, there are other boot camps that very much are a scam. It's not a bad program. Communication with tutor is not good. Hey, I'll just plug it one more time. That is exactly what I was talking about. 10 ways laterally and 1 salting allow you to outperform your boot camp's placement rate. And what you're talking about specifically, laterally in particular, is literally it's designed to plug that hole and ensure against teacher incompetence, poor communication, lack of availability, lack of expertise. So I have over 10 years of experience. I've worked for companies you've heard of, like Amazon and Capital One. A lot of these coding bootcamp instructors are frankly at the junior level. Some of them have been placed into the teacher role precisely because they are a graduate of a prior cohort and they could not get an industry role. So the bootcamp hired them on as a tutor or a teacher. So a lot of them do a great job, but it is not surprising that the average bootcamp tutor has a lower level of expertise than the average industry senior developer. It's really just a totally expected difference, to be honest with you. What's the laterally price looking like? It's an hourly rate. It depends on what we do. So link in the bio, free consult, and we can talk about what your actual needs are, and then there's an hourly rate. If you want to do the bootcamp supplementation service where you meet once a week, basically, I think that's like $400 a month, roughly. Again, like, please consult with me if there are like factors for your situation, because there almost always are. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Great tangent. Let's do some coding. Let me also check my YouTube comments so I'm not neglecting YouTube. Okay, great. I don't see any comments on YouTube. Let me know if I'm missing that. Let's say JavaScript for me is easier to learn on Codecademy instead of Career Foundry. Hey, Codecademy is great. Codecademy is where I learned JavaScript. But keep in mind, like boot camps are not, boot camps are there for more reasons than just learning to code. Boot camps are there to get you a job. They're there to get you a job. And they do a bunch of things that Codecademy is not going to do. Codecademy says that they have a community, but what is it? It's like internet forums, right? The social networking capability facilitated by internet forums is negligible compared to the social networking capability of you being thrown into a boot camp with 10 or 20 other people, hopefully not too many more than 20. When you get into these quote unquote boot camps that have 50 students in a cohort, that gets really, really messy and kind of ugly. But when you're working hard on a day-to-day basis with a project, with a team, and they're in this tough situation with you, you really form a social bond. And look, this is talked about in the academic literature. Codecademy is what we would call a MOOC. It's a particularly good MOOC, and it's where I learned to code, so I'm not bagging on them. But the efficacy conversion to a job rates of a MOOC versus a boot camp is an absolute joke. So I'm glad Codecademy is working for you. And I'm not telling you to leave Codecademy. But what I am saying is, if you complete your Codecademy course and you find it difficult to move to actually land a job, there is a lot more to landing here. Learning to program is just the start of learning to program is just the first step to landing a coding job. So Codecademy can help you with that first step, in particular if you have a personality type where maybe you are like very self-driven, very independent. There are just some people that, frankly, working on a team is actually an inhibition for them personally. In the long run, that's going to be a skill you're going to want to develop. We call that soft skills or EQ. But in the short run, sure, grind it out. Get through that Codecademy course. At the end of it, you'll know how to program, but will you know how to get a job? That's a totally different skill set. Okay, great digression. Let's write some code. That's what we're here for. You're going to send me an email. Please do. I would love to see it. Check out my bio. Contacting me should be hopefully an easy process. This is some other project I was working on. Let's go over to the... By the way, you can go over to YouTube and see the full screen. Highly encourage you to do that. There will be a YouTube playlist over time we're developing. Today's the first video. Cool, so we're collapsing. This is a VS Code multi-root setup. We're collapsing some other folders. I'm going to CD up a level, and I'm going to git clone. This should be on my clipboard if I'm not mistaken. So let's clone red, yellow, green. Update to VS Code, we'll do that later. Thanks for the notification. What is a social quality platform? Actually, it says, what the hell is a social quality platform? Have you ever seen a TikTok, maybe it's from me, and you're like, whoa, this sucks. A social quality platform helps ensure high quality social media content for creators. And so we're basically going to use this platform to grade social media content as red, yellow, or green. Thus the name. Okay, so we cloned it. Now let's add it to the workspace. Here is all of the sort of local folders that I have. We're looking for red, yellow, green. There it is. New, fresh baby over here. Okay, and I think I would like to do this as a Blitz project yet again. So let me go upgrade my Blitz. Probably just yarn-g list. I can't remember if I have Blitz under yarn or npm. Word, thanks. What's the tech stack? We're going to use Blitz, at least at the moment. So TypeScript world, full stack TypeScript. Ruben says, what is this project about? Hey, Ruben, look at the stream description. It should have a link to the GitHub repository for red, yellow, green, which is a social quality platform that enables quality assurance and data analysis of social media content. So I can put out a TikTok video and then I can send it over to YouTube Reels and over to Instagram. And I can look at my multi-channel impact and actually get a measure of that content quality. Is it performing at a high level across the board? Is it sort of like working on TikTok and not working on other platforms? Or is it like not working across the board? And then I can tune the quality of my content and ensure that it's high quality before I snap it over into sort of an approved playlist that an AI can consume. And then we're going to get off track once we start talking about what the AI does. Basically, that AI is going to consume my highest quality educational content, and it is going to have an always updated educational course produced. Lobbyist says that's cool. Thank you so much, and thank you for supporting the channel by tapping the live. I appreciate that. Hope you will follow on at least TikTok, if not on YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube audience, by the way, because if I get to 1,000, they will like give me perks, basically. So yarn-g list did not do what I wanted. Is it yarn global? Let me do yarn global help. Yarn global list. Nope, it's not what I want. Oh, there it is. There's Blitz. So let me yarn remove Blitz. The module isn't specified. Yarn global remove Blitz. We're just updating it basically. So I'm going to remove it and then add it. Yarn global Blitz. Yarn global add Blitz. Okay, I spelled that wrong. That was dangerous. I always hate how if I misspell something, I could get like malicious code downloaded to my computer because I mistyped. Ruben, okay, that sounds cool, but I'm not sure if I'm going to understand something. Hey, no problem. Feel free to ask questions or whatever. Okay, so we have the 27 subversion beta. Great. So we want to blitz new. Is it blitz new? Let me try. Red, yellow, green. TypeScript or JavaScript, y'all know what it is. Full or minimal, full please. We're going to use yarn. React final form or hook form, they're both good. I'll go for final form, I guess, because it said recommended. Git ignore has conflicts. What do you want to do? Let's overwrite it. Okay, so you can see it generated all of these files. It basically started the project for me. It's kind of still in progress. While it's in progress, let me look at this git ignore and see what differences there are, if any. I'm going to control AC over here. So I would actually like all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it, save that file, and now I have the git ignores from GitHub combined with the git ignores from Blitz, which may not be necessary, but this is sort of a better safe than sorry situation. Chris says, what are we building? It is called Red, Yellow, Green. Open source as usual, Vanderveer/redyellowgreen. Just started today, very, very fresh. And this is a social quality platform enabling quality assurance and analysis for social content. That means if I make a YouTube video that I'm going to send over to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and other locations, I will have a single source of truth that I can have a single application that will show me the performance on all channels, and I can understand what is generally high quality, what is generally low quality, and what is yellow, meaning it went viral somewhere, but it's sort of inconsistently viral and therefore needs a fix of some sort. Okay, we're done resolving packages, fetching packages. That's the install step. Linking dependencies. I actually don't know what it's doing when it says linking dependencies. And then building fresh packages. This will be the Blitz itself is doing its own build. Yeah, so fetching packages means pulling off of NPM. Building packages is Blitz itself doing a build step because it builds a Prisma client that gives us database and type integration. How can participate in open source so I can build a network? That's kind of an interesting question. There's a lot of ways to participate in open source, but in terms of building a network, I would suggest that you look into the Fediverse. So check out fediverse.party. Fediverse.party. This is basically Mastodon, if you've heard of that, and a bunch of similar things. So this is like the sort of open source Twitter, basically. So check out Mastodon and Fediverse would be my recommendation. Thoughts on Rust? Rust is a baddie. We love Rust. Rust is the new daddy. Juniors, please do not learn Rust. If you're a junior, if you're trying to land your first job, Rust is going to destroy your brain. But if you're a senior, go get Rust. You're going to love it. Is Blitz an open source project? Yes, it is. Okay, so now let's cd, just like it says, cd red, yellow, green. I can red and then hit the tab for autocomplete because I'm in bash. I'm going to blitz dev. That should start up my dev server. Here we are. We're on localhost 3000. So let's go over to Chrome. It's going to take a minute. So when that development server first starts up, it takes a minute to load it all into memory. Should be getting ready pretty quick over here. Let me inspect. Oh, there it is. So here you go. So this is your standard Blitz starter. Excuse me. Now, what do I want to do? I would like the ability to... I'm getting reminders for a bunch of stuff I got to do. RAM fighting for its life with the tabs open. Yeah, it doesn't help that this computer is like 100 years old. So it is what it is. I just got a new M2 and I occasionally stream from it, but this is my Windows desktop. And I literally just bought the M2 like last month, so I can't replace the desktop this month. But yeah, we'll do that pretty soon here as well. Feta Force, you said. No, Fediverse, like universe, but federated universe. Fediverse. So there it is, fediverse.party. Check that out. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. I got to do some other stuff, so I can't dwell on that. Okay. What if I've taken college level C++? How hard will picking up languages be? I have not personally experienced any educational experience that was harder than trying to learn C++ at university. That is, and maybe I just had a bad course, like I don't know, but everything else was easier. I think I had a bad course though, so I don't know. Yeah, but most programming languages are easier to learn than C and C++. And definitely JavaScript. I'm going to be encouraging you to learn JavaScript as someone who's early on in their career. JavaScript and then TypeScript, which we're using today, TypeScript. Okay, so let's get back to this. One thing I could do is try and send this to Vercel ASAP. I think I want to do that. What is this? This is a transient env file update. For transient env. That is, I don't know why this doesn't go and get ignore. I'm actually not sure about why that happens. But anyway, we'll commit it. I don't think it hurts anything to have it in the repository. Dabooby says, bro, I'm coder. Pull up. Glad you're here. Good to see you. Ruben Finol says, I feel like JavaScript is really hard. Compared to what? It is pretty universally recognized as one of the 2 best beginner languages. I think the only way you get to say JavaScript is hard is if you are a Python programmer. To which I would say, yeah, JavaScript is harder than Python, and it's still the right choice. In particular, you should be upskilling to TypeScript as soon as reasonable, and TypeScript is way better than Python. So, got to go through a little pain to get to the other side. Can you fix my code? Hey, why are you saying, can I fix your code if you said that you're a coder? You guys, what's goody? I'm a data sci major. Cool. Crazy. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to upload this to Vercel. So let's go make a new Vercel project. And I'm going to try and use the Vercel database, which I've not done before, unless it's expensive, which I have no idea if it is. So let's add a project. We're going to import red, yellow, green. Next framework was detected. Environment variables, I don't have any currently. I'll need to add some. I need to add the, so I'm going to control P and env test env.local. Okay, and so session secret key is the one that I need. Session secret key. Environment variables, session secret key. And does it hide it? No, it doesn't hide it. Bummer. Okay, well, let me take this off screen so that I can fill that out. You can put anything you want as the session secret key. It just needs to be, it basically adds entropy. It makes the session hard to crack. So it just needs to be something like 32 characters long or something. Okay, so I added it, and let's try to deploy now. Looks kind of like it is not going to show that on the screen now. So I'll bring this back. Let me see if I have a question in my YouTube chat. Nope, I think we're good. You think it's good to invest more time to it, or he says, I'm a Django developer. I mean, if you're already employed, please check the link in my bio and let's have a consult, because I don't want to get off track, and it depends. It basically depends. There's some cases where I can say, yeah, stick with it, and there's other cases where I'd say learn something else. Is it easy to debug TypeScript? I know you can use VS Code built in to debug JavaScript. I would say yes, it's easy to debug TypeScript. That would be my opinion. Okay. So what are we doing now? One error. What is this? Dynamic server usage. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why that error is there. I will open up the Blitz Discord. Excuse me. And I'll just scan it real quick to see if they know anything about this issue. Hey, just stopped by to say thanks for the GitHub curriculum. Got a lot to work on this upcoming week. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoy it. Best wishes, sending energy, positive energy your way, man. Okay, so here is the build, and it looks like it built successfully. So let's continue to dashboard, this says. So here is the Vercel remote address, and we're going to have a database failure immediately. That's fine. Let me double check that it's a database error. I think so. Excuse me. So we're looking on the network tab to confirm the error source. Refresh the page right here. And it fails on get current user. The session secret key, it sort of goes off. It sort of goes off screen, doesn't it? The session secret key must be at least 32 bytes. Maybe I just didn't type enough letters. So settings, we'll go over to the environment variable. Environment variables, session secret key. So here's what I typed, and I hid it from you. But let's do a character counter. "31 characters, come on. I literally typed one character off. I guess they don't use a zero-based counting. Okay. Here's localhost. So I'm going to pull this off so that I can update the variable. to something a little longer. Cool. Saved. We'll bring it back over here. So now I'll go over to deployments, and I need to redeploy, and it's basically saying, hey, you're going to redeploy with the same code, but the newest settings, which includes environment variables. So I'll hit redeploy. That's off to the races. Excuse me. Cool. If I refresh this, did I ever push? Yeah. So here's the latest code. Here's localhost, here's the remote. So now we're on localhost. What I'd like to do is convert to Postgres. So currently when you start up a new Blitz project, it uses SQLite, which is an in-memory data store. And I'd like to use Vercel DB, which I've never used before. Vercel Postgres in particular. Is it free, the Blitz? Yes, it is. It's open source and free. So here's Vercel Postgres. I've never used this before. Hopefully they have a free version. Excuse me. Usually I would use Supabase. And if this doesn't work out, then I will still use Supabase. But it will be nice if I can get everything in one place. One of our supported ORMs, it says. And there's Prisma support. Great. Oh, interesting. You can see it's execute. This is executable with create next app, which is really awesome because create next app is the new, correct, ideal way to build a React project. So let's look. Oh, it has turbo configuration and everything. What I'm looking for is where is the bit. It's using PNPM. Okay. My question is, where is the bit that instructs Vercel to create the database? Is it even in here? Right? Is it even in here? They seed it with Lee. That's hilarious. Lee Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty cool guy. That works at Vercel. Really smart guy. So I'm not seeing anything interior. Preview features JSON protocol. That's wild. Postgres out of the box. Wow. Pooling and non-pooling URLs. And are there environment variables for that? Yeah, pooling and non-pooling URLs. I need to sort of remember this because I may need to update environment variables for pooling URL. So I'll create a new issue on my repository. Consider I'm not actually sure if the pooling URL is required or if it is going to just make it that much faster and better. No dark mode. Yeah, we should be using dark mode A. Where's the appearance? I like the green checks. Let's do the green checks. Can you tell us? Can I tell you what? Is it free, the Blitz? I said yes. Yes. What's your reason for using Postgres? Oh, it's high performance, open source, SQL. That's pretty much the reason. It's high performance, open source, and SQL. For example, you are a fresh self-taught with zero experience. What's the ladder you would climb? Hey, check the link in my bio. Let's do a one-on-one consult. The answer is that I would send. The answer is check out ladderly.io, and there is a learning course that you can sign up for free, and it goes over the basics. You can also see laterally slides. The curriculum markdown file right here. And it will walk you through. Here's one thing that I don't like about dark mode on GitHub is it makes the markdown files look kind of silly. You see those sharp edges. But yeah, this is the answer. But if you want any help going through this, just book a call through my bio. Okay, quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can see the full screen if you go over to YouTube. And I don't see any questions in the YouTube chat. Cool. Have you tried Angular or Vue? What's your favorite front-end framework? I've tried both of them. I was a team lead in Angular for years. Vue is overrated. Vue is extremely overrated. Angular is cool, but it's second best. Stick to Next.js and the React ecosystem. Doesn't hurt to learn too, though. So that's one thing that you consider is after you learn React, maybe you should also learn Angular. That's going to depend on your job search performance. It may or may not be a value add compared to other things you could do with your time, like preparing data structure and algorithm style questions. Let's close these two. Looks like the production environment is ready. The problem is that it is still running on SQLite in-memory database. But in any case, it's like kind of working. Let's see if I can sign up. I will do my laterally email. Feel free to email me there if you want to. I'm creating an account so I can do anything I want, I think. Save password, not really. Invalid, environment variable not found, database URL, SQLite, yeah. So SQLite is not going to work in this context as I expected. So we need to hook up the Postgres database. That was not entirely clear to me how to do. I'm expecting that there's like a button in Vercel where I can just create a new one. All right. Vercel is available in beta, pro, and hobby plans. Beta. Does not recommend using them in production environments. Am I on a hobby plan? Let's see. What is my current account? Emmanuel says, wait, are you using Next.js or React? The answer is both. Next.js is React. So check out react.dev. These are the latest React docs. We should be following these docs now. And basically, if you scroll down to here, go full stack with a framework. To build an entire app, we recommend a full stack framework like Next or Remix. And I can tell you, don't use Remix, use Next. Get started with a framework, and you can see create Next app is the way to go. I don't see Angular as much in job description anymore. I agree. That's why it's not the #1 choice. Have you used MySQL? I have. Emmanuel says Next works on front end too? ? Yes, it does. And it's not that straightforward because you're not deploying all of your code to the front end. You are building an application. So Next includes a compilation or a build step. So you're going to write your code in Next, run the build step, and it will produce client files that are sent to the browser. So the output of the Next build step is what actually runs on the client browser. But basically, Next is full stack front end and back end. You define your pages. Like pages are a front end entity. Like you define your web page in Next. Thank you for the likes. Okay. So let's back up. I need to know what plan that I am on. Let me take this off screen. I'm not sure what payment details might show up, so I'll take that off screen. I'm on the hobby plan. Okay, cool. And I don't actually need to show you any payment details to see that. Let me show you how I confirmed. I'm just on the Vercel dashboard here, and I can see the word hobby. Cool, so we confirmed that I'm on the hobby plan. Let's see how we can get this Vercel Postgres going. Okay. Learn how Vercel Postgres works. I just want to see how to create. Oh, PG Vector. Wow. So vector database lets you use large language models, basically. OpenAI's text embedding models. That's pretty sicko mode. ORM compatibility. I get it. So how do I create the database instance? Powered by a partnership with Neon. Okay. So interesting. It's like a white label thing. Should not be considered SOC type 2 compliant. You do not need to create a Neon account, but like, why not? Why not just work with Neon directly? Creating, deleting, and managing Postgres happens in the Vercel dashboard. Emmanuel says, I know that TypeScript is better. Sorry for the questions. Please don't apologize for the questions. I love the questions. I love the questions. Keep them coming. Okay. Would you recommend I learn React first or TypeScript? Currently learning the basics of JS. I think you should learn JavaScript first and build vanilla applications, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It will be painful, and you should do it so that you know those pain points. Then you can use React and see how the pain points go away. And you actually understand the benefit of using React at that point, as opposed to just using it because people say so. You want to understand the advantages and disadvantages compared to a vanilla application. So start vanilla, build an application, then stay in JavaScript, build a React JavaScript application, then build a React TypeScript application. That's the flow I recommend. So vanilla JavaScript, React TypeScript. That way you're only learning one new thing at a time, as opposed to going, if maybe you never go vanilla, you just dive into React with TypeScript, that would be a nightmare. I don't know. I guess some super genius could do it, but I would hate that. Brian says, go straight to Next.js and just know it's magic. Yeah. No, I think that's terrible advice. I think that's terrible advice. Hopefully that was a joke, Brian. Okay, cool. Using Vercel in your workflow. I literally just want to know how to create one. So it happens in your Vercel dashboard. So let's go to the Vercel dashboard. By the way, what's the pricing stats on Neon? Pro starting at 0. That's pretty sicko. So Neon will give you a free tier with one project. That's a bummer. Supabase wins for sure. But it has branches, which is kind of cool. I'm not obsessed with the branching thing. If I was, I'd go over to Planet Scale, right? Shared compute with a gig of RAM, 3 gigs per branch, auto suspend compute. I don't know, like, why is this cool? Like, what am I getting out of this? I see the line items. Okay, you're getting this. But like, what is the net win differentiator compared to Supabase? I'm not seeing it. Literally, the only thing I see here is if you really want to use branches, we'll give you 10, which doesn't sound awesome. If I really want to use branches, I'll go over to Planet Scale and I can do like hella. Okay, so free doesn't sound awesome. Maybe the awesome thing is pro. Usage-based plan starting at 0. That's pretty cool. Auto scaling, that's pretty cool. So yeah, maybe depending on how the auto scaling works, maybe it is more performant than Supabase. I don't know. I don't know what the, I mean, cool graphics, good for that. I don't know why I'm using this Neon thing, to be honest with you. If someone can explain that, let me know. Vercel Postgres I do get because it's still like, I'm just dealing with Vercel. But if it faces the same pricing constraints, it's already a bummer. Maybe Vercel gets us away from those pricing constraints so that I'm not stuck with one database instance. Maybe I get a bunch if I go the Vercel way. That would be cool. Storage. Okay, so this is where I go. This is cool. This is cool. This makes sense. Edge config. Interesting. A Redis. This is great. Wait, why do they have a Supabase integration? What's going on here? Create a backend in less than 2 minutes. Okay. Why would I do it here instead of like literally just through Supabase? So many questions. Let me actually go to the Supabase Discord and just ask them, like, hey, why would I do this? Because I use Supabase all the time, but I don't use that thing there. Where's like the general chat? Off topic? Does this count as off topic? I don't know, maybe. Seems like it's on topic. Okay, help and questions. Maybe it's here, I guess. Why use Vercel? Okay, so maybe they will get an answer to us and I will update you in a future stream. What we are trying right now is Postgres. Yeah, we want Postgres. Let's continue. Accept the terms, sure. Database name. Red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, green. PG. Regen. Let's do the near DC. Thanks. Brian, thank you for the follow. Okay, ooh, cool. So we just snapped to what I need. One of the things that does annoy me, admittedly, about Supabase is after I create the database, I sort of have to like browse around the settings pages to get to this string that I like. And I like that they seem to create the password for me, and they are obfuscating it with the asterisks so that I'm not like worried because I'm streaming someone is going to jack my database, right? Brian says, I literally needed this live. Dude, much love. Thanks for being here. I love to hear that. Okay, so P-SQL, Prisma. This is what I really want. Look at this. Okay. Over here, when I'm like consider pooling and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to like configure all the variables. They're just like, here, daddy. They're literally just like, here you go, daddy. Freaking heckin' yeah. And they give you Svelte kit. Sly move, Vercel, I see you. So the creator of Svelte is over at Vercel now. I don't know if y'all knew that. So they're like pushing Svelte kind of like unabashedly now. Cool. So this is what I need. Let me go to my Prisma file. Here's red, yellow, green. We're going to db schema.prisma, and I will drop it right here, data source db. I'm going to comment this. No, I really am only going to keep this URL line around. I'll comment that. So there's a discrepancy between the Blitz built-in name and the Vercel default supported name. And so that's the reason I'm maintaining both for now. Okay, now your question might be, hey, we have these environment variables. What are the values? What are the values, bro? The answer is I don't even need to know. As long as Vercel knows, so I can pull them down with the Vercel command line. Or I can connect as it's walking you through. Look at this beautiful walkthrough. We love the Vercel developer experience. So it's walking me through how to connect without needing to manually like copy and paste strings. Start by connecting to your existing project. Let's do it. We're going to pick red, yellow, green. Very easy. Advanced options. Nope, this looks good. Very easy experience. I'm loving it. We expect nothing less from Vercel. Okay. That was weird. It was weird that it didn't populate here after I connected it. So it already says connected. Okay, that was weird. I did expect after I confirmed it, it should like say like now connected over here. Hey, Vercel, if you're listening, literally, bro, just add a line. After the connection succeeds, just add a line that says connected to red, yellow, green. Okay. Pull your environment variables. Yep, here's the Vercel CLI. So I'm copying this, Control C, tearing down the command line here, Control V, enter. Isn't linked, okay. Vercel link, no problem. Do we want to set up red, yellow, green? Yes, we do. For John Vanderveer. We found it. Do you want to link it? Yes, I do. Linked. We're good to go. Control V, enter. Okay. And so you see, it created the development env.development.local for me. So far, I hate to say it, so far, the developer experience is better than Supabase. So far. I don't know if that will scale, but so far, this is some kick-ass stuff right here. That was beautiful. That was freaking heckin' great. Okay, it bumped my get ignore for me. Cool, thank you. And then we have the schema.prisma change. I'll stage that. This is easy mode, y'all. It's literally telling me everything, and it's literally easy. Then run npm install. Here's the thing, I'm using yarn, bro. You can't just say that. Yeah, you can't just say stuff like that, dude. Okay, anyway, I'll yarn it. I might need to yarn add. Yeah, I need to yarn add. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can see the full screen if you follow on YouTube, link in my bio. The stream will be saved and I will be creating a playlist. Developing this entire application will be a YouTube playlist stream. So do not miss out. Definitely go follow the YouTube channel. We've got about probably 10 more minutes on today's stream. We're going to make sure this bad boy gets working in prod. That's pretty much all we're going to do is convert the database. Use encode. This example uses Next.js. It will create a server component accessing a Postgres database. Okay. Awaiting raw SQL. That's scary, dude. Oh, man, that's really making me nervous, dude. Why would you do that? No, they need a safer starter. They need to start with Prisma. They need to start with Prisma. Don't start with this raw SQL access, bro. Okay. I can just skip that stage because I'm using Prisma. So I think we're good. In theory, we are good now. Now, here's what I don't like. Look at all the caps. I have all these usage caps. And do I even have a database browser? Supabase has a very nice database browser. So they are expecting me. I can do a query. Choose table, like the table does not exist. Okay, let's go ahead and push the database. So here I'm going to feat connect Vercel PG. Git push. Now I'm going to blitz Prisma migrate dev. Property not known, direct URL. Property not known, direct URL. So is my Prisma old? So let me yarn upgrade Prisma. So this might, I'm not sure, but this might be a new Prisma feature. So Blitz is throwing 4.6. I'm trying to scroll up to see what it grabbed. Ew, I'm seeing a bunch of Win32 incompatibility notes. That's bad. 4.6. It looks like it's the same version, right? So I don't see a version change. Okay. That means we were already using. So let's Google it. Cron name for Prisma data source property. This is Prisma 4.9. So here's Prisma 4.9 with January 17 release date. And I'm seeing feat direct support URL under this release. So this does indicate that the Prisma version needs to be updated. So why did Prisma upgrade not do it? Let's consult the Vercel PG starter package JSON. And here Prisma is, I'm expecting a newer version. 13, look at that, 13 or newer as a dev dependency. And then the client is the runtime dev. Okay, so I will just manually grab it. Oh man, I clicked the wrong button. Let me cancel that. What is this, Zoom? Go away, Zoom. 13, yeah, so I'll just go ahead and type it even, 13.0. Okay, and then the other Prisma, Control F Prisma. So they're both listed as dependencies, not dev dependencies. I think it's fine. We can put them both here. Okay, so now I'll just yarn. So we manually update the Prisma version and install. So let me drop on the Blitz Discord. Maybe I'll just submit them a pull request, Like why not bump Prisma to 14.3? Cool, the install succeeded. So let's see if the migration will work now. Data source provider does not match the one specified in the migration lock table. That's correct. So when you switch from SQLite to Postgres, you have to nuke the migration lock table. Please remove your current migration directory and start over. Cool. No sweat. And let me actually control click. These SQLite files will delete all of them. Okay? That is actually totally expected and not concerning at all. He said nervously. Just kidding. Enter a name for the new migration. This will be init Vercel PG. Cool. And so now I can blitz Prisma generate. Blitz, so Prisma is working, Prisma DB push. And that was the real source of truth, and we got the check mark, which means my schema pushed successfully to Vercel, to the remote database. So let's check on the Vercel side and confirm that. So now if I refresh, there should be tables here that were not here previously. I got user session token. Okay. Woo! Let's go, baby. This means now I can log in. So here is the remote database. We failed to log in. You remember the error. So let's try to sign up again. John at Latterly. I'll go ahead and tell you. It's foobar123 exclamation. Don't save the password. Okay, so it's still complaining about SQLite, and that's fine. That means that we have not built and deployed the migration change, which is true because it's sitting right here uncommitted, isn't it? So let me stage all of these. And we will feat init Vercel PG. I'm going to git push. Okay. And once we basically log in remotely, that is going to wrap up the stream for today. Datadog is requesting new permissions. No, sir. I'll just uninstall you. It makes it all too easy to accept the changes, doesn't it? I'll just ignore you. Go away, Datadog. Triple E says, I'm so confused right now. Yeah, this is the wonky part, dude. Like, don't be discouraged. This is infrastructure concerns right now. This is like DevOps stuff. So if you're trying to learn to program, you actually don't really need to know about any of this. Although it will possibly help you in making your portfolio public so people can look at your portfolio. But you can get a job just using GitHub pages, and that's like a really simple workflow. Or you can use like Vercel without needing to set up a database. So if it is confusing, basically don't sweat it. And all of the streams are not going to be like this. This is like the setup stream, and this basically happens. There's like a setup stream where you have to deal with deployment stuff. But future streams will be more concerned with the actual code. Prisma generate failure. Ooh, bummer. What does it say? Yarn run build failed. Can I do that locally? Yarn run build. We got about 5 minutes left, y'all. Whether it works or it doesn't work, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, so we got 39 lines down. Looks like next built correctly. Excuse me. Thank you for the likes. Quick reminder, you can see the full screen on YouTube, link in the TikTok bio. Okay, Prisma detected that this project was built on Vercel. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. This leads to an outdated Prisma client because Prisma's auto generation isn't triggered. Ooh, to fix this, make sure to run Prisma generate during the build. Okay, so I'm not sure that I'm doing that. So I'm going to Control C. Let me look over here. Here's Blitz build. So yarn run build worked fine. Blitz Prisma generate. So I'm not sure if Blitz Prisma generate is a subroutine of Blitz build, but like it doesn't hurt, right? So let's just run it. So this will be a chore, or this will be a maybe fix, basically. Maybe build fix. Okay. So we fired off that possible fix, but let's keep reading. Prisma has detected that this was Yeah, it gave us the same message 3 times. Now we ran blitz build. Should generate be run after blitz build? I don't know. Okay. Error code is undefined. Client version is 413. Within Webpack. The issue is within Webpack. So literally it's the Prisma client is the problem here. Check platform caching. Oh, it seems to be throwing intentionally. Because it's erroring at check platform caching. It seems to be throwing intentionally as opposed to like getting to some runtime code that failed. Failed to collect package data. Okay. I am suspecting that I actually need to run the generate command afterwards, but let's go see. I want to see a second failure. So here we got green, red, yellow. I want to see this one fail actually. And if it does fail, then I will generate afterwards. And if it doesn't fail, then I'll go have a beer. It actually seems to be working fine. So apparently the running the generates order is not so sensitive. Philip, thank you for the follow. Triple E says, I know C++ a little bit. Hey, we're glad you're here, man. Hope you follow the channel. C++ is actually harder than what we're doing, believe it or not. It's different. So like you're gonna have to learn this. It's like a new skill you'll have to learn. But even though it's different, it's not harder. This is actually easier. Macan, M-A-Q-A-N says, I'm a novice programmer. I'm trying to push my first code to GitHub from Bash. How can I push all files to one specific folder in my repo, e.g., GitHub/user/projects/new folder? So then new folder would need to be your repository name. So you need to create a new GitHub repository. And then you will clone that repository, and basically you need to attach your local folder to GitHub. And there's a few ways to do that. The one that I think for a beginner would be easiest is probably to clone the folder and then copy the files from your existing folder to the cloned folder. There are some other strategies, such as you could initialize a bare repo within the existing folder that you already have, and then push connect that. And there are some other strategies too. You could even clone and then move the .git over. That stuff's really weird. So basically I would say try cloning it and moving the files over, and check my bio. If you have any trouble, I'm happy to help you out. Brian says, how much is the pricing? I set up Postgres on G-Cloud. It turned off because the pricing was too much. I think it's free. I think it's free and capped. Here, let's go to pricing. I'm not intending to pay any money, so hopefully it's free. Oh, see, now you get to hear. Now you get to hear about the constraints. So just like Neon, you are constrained to one database. But it's free. Hobby is free. You have these kind of like lame restrictions. Vercel is free for hobby users within the usage limits. Vercel will send you emails as you are nearing your limit. You will not pay for any additional usage. However, you will not be able to access Postgres if limits are exceeded. There you go. Brian says, I'm fine with one database. Cool, great. Supabase, you can have a bunch though. So, I don't know, maybe start with the Vercel DB, and then if you need a second one, grab Supabase at that point. Maybe that's the move. Let's check on our build. The build is looking good. Everything is looking good. So I'm going to go back to the main dash page. and we can see we had a green build on the maybe fix. Click here. I'm going to copy the URL, Control T, Control V, enter. Okay, so this is the deployed URL. You can access this. You, the audience, if you see that URL, you should be able to go there right now. Brian says, I love Vercel. Same. And thank you for being here, by the way. I'm going to click this sign up. Third time's the charm. I think this is the third time I'm trying to sign up. Foo bar 1 2 3 exclamation point. Feel free to hack me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are signed in. You can see I'm user number 1. That's right, I am number 1. Feel free to sign up, but you're going to be number 2. Okay. Thanks for being here. Follow the channel. That concludes today's stream. We have shipped basically a Blitz starter and then connected it to the Vercel database. So we did not get into any of the application-specific logic for red, yellow, green today. We basically just did a setup stream, which is great. And then next stream, we get to dive into the real code. I'm really excited to show you what we're going to be doing here. This is going to be, it's really exciting. Is today Saturday? Yeah, follow the channel because I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. Great. See you later.